Owen and I found quite the lichen haul today. We hit the lichen gold mine on our walk around the neighborhood. Check out that huge branch. Oh my gosh. This was like just up the street from our house at the corner. Amazing. Pretty sure the neighbors think I'm nuts.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
This is lichen. Apparently this gives a beautiful purple dye. And so I've separated out all of the branches that have a decent amount of the lichen. So, this is stuff that has all fallen on its own from the trees. You never want to take this stuff off of a living, growing tree. But this was all just on the ground. And so I need to figure out how to just kind of get the lichen off of these branches. So I'm going to be doing some research into that, because that's going to be its own dyeing project for sure. Kind of excited. I never thought this is something that would excite me. It's kind of weird. Look at this. There's so much potential dye material here. I should see like this one here. Look at this one. It's probably the best specimen that I have. It's so cool. I have a jar, so I'm going to do my best to get the lichen off of the branches and put the lichen in the jar. And after I have my jar full of lichen, I will have to get some ammonia. And what you do is you let the lichen dye bath form over a period of like at least 3 months so that the purple color can form. So this one's going to be a long process, and we'll come back and do a separate video on the lichen. What are you doing, Owen?
I am actually getting some lichen off this branch.
Oh, being a good helper, huh?
Yep. Ooh, 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 feet burning hot.
What? It's not hot. Okay, so I don't know if I'm on camera, but I've got my lichen jar half full of water now. And my husband just brought home some clear ammonia for me. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this in. I'm doing this outside because I hear that it is very, very stinky. So I'm just gonna fill this up to here with ammonia. Because we're gonna wanna leave this inch at the top for it to oxidize. Okay, got that closed up. I'm going to close this up, clamp this down really well. Hopefully this is a very secure jar, and we're going to shake. I'm just going to shake this real good. Okay, so that's kind of coming out of the top. Maybe we won't hold it upside down. All right, so I'm just gonna let this do its thing for like 3 to 6 months. I'm going to shake it every single day. You gotta take care of it. And about once a week, I'm going to open it up and let some oxygen get in there for a little while, and then close it up and shake it up again. But you can see all the lichen at the side of the jar over here. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know how the dirt that's in here is going to interfere. There's definitely a lot of dirt in here, but we're just going to go with it. I did not wash my lichen. I don't know if I was supposed to, but at this point, this is what we're doing. So, all right, there you have it. Okay, guys, I didn't film this part, but I am on my third lichen dye bath. I'm getting a lot of glare, but oh my goodness, can you see that color in the dye bath right there? Do you see that? This is dye bath number 3. This is skeins 5 and 6 are in here. Do you guys see? I just put this in the dye bath. There is still so much color in here. I cannot wait to show you guys the first 2 dye baths. Oh my goodness. So basically, what I did was I let this sit from the lichen in the ammonia and water mixture from June 27th, and then I took it out yesterday, which was October 4th, and I strained the lichen from the dye bath, and I put the dye bath in this big pot, and I added a whole bunch of water to have enough room for the yarn to float. And I've been dyeing yarn. It's very stinky because of all the ammonia, but oh my goodness, the colors I am getting, you guys, is so amazing. I've got to go show you some other colors, but it's dark out, so the lighting is not very good. But oh my goodness, hold on. Okay, guys, do you see this? It is nighttime, and this is in my bathroom where there's no natural light right now because it is very dark outside. Do you see the color of this lichen dyed yarn? It's my favorite color. It's my favorite shade of purple ever. And I pulled out 2 more skeins so you can see the second dye bath. So these first 2 that are really dark right here is before the very first time in the dye bath. And then I put 2 more skeins in so you can see how much lighter it got. And I just showed you the third dye bath in the kitchen right now. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I think I could just do nothing but dye with lichen the rest of my life and be totally, totally happy because it's my favorite color. So fun. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to show you guys this. And now I have not rinsed this yet, so this still needs to be rinsed. So I'm hoping that we don't lose too much color, but we will see. But it's going to be gorgeous. I am going to let it dry before I rinse it because the color should keep better if I let it dry first before rinsing. So that's the plan. Okay, so now that I have some daylight, I wanted to show you guys some lichen fermenting jars in progress. So let's see. I think that this is probably going to be the one that's closest to what I have in the dye pot right now. And so, yeah, this is from early July. So this should be pretty close. And so you can see how those bubbles at the top are starting to turn to a reddish type of color. So I'm going to be letting this sit until they turn to more of a Merlot deep berry kind of color. I would say I'll probably leave this one for another few weeks. These are kind of at a similar place to that one. And then just so you guys can see the difference, these I put in maybe just a couple of weeks ago. And so you can see how these are not at all ready yet because those bubbles there are still more of a brownish, yellowish kind of tint there. So what you want, I would say, this color would be the absolute soonest that you would want to try to strain the lichen out and actually use this as a dye bath. But I would prefer to see this more wine colored, more berry colored. So we're gonna let this sit a few weeks. And all that you do is every day or so you shake this a few times a day, and then a few times a week you want to open the jars and let a little bit of oxygen in, and then shake them up again. And then that helps just with the fermentation process, and that helps the color to develop. So it's important that you tend to the jars frequently. I don't honestly get to it every single day, but at first I was really good about it, and now I just kind of shake them up and open them up when I remember. But ideally you should be shaking them every day and oxidizing them at least once a week. So I am going to take you over now to my lichen dyed yarn that I have just rinsed and is hanging to dry. So let's go over there. Isn't this amazing? Oh my goodness. I am just so thrilled with how these have turned out. So these are still pretty wet. So you'll see like at the top where, you know, the water's dripping down. So the bottoms have more water kind of in them right now. So they're more saturated with water. So probably the final color is going to be closer to what you see toward the top. And oh my goodness, these are just so beautiful. So, you know, obviously these are the first ones. I've got 2 skeins there that went in the very first dye bath. And I've just been exhausting the dye bath 2 skeins at a time. So this was the second one to come out, and then the third, and then the fourth. So the color is getting much lighter, but it is still beautiful. You know, so this first one obviously is just a gorgeous, gorgeous deep fuchsia. Absolutely stunning. And then this next one still has quite a bit of color, but it's more dull. It's not quite as vibrant, but it still has so much color in it. And then it's a little harder in this light for some reason to really get a true sense of these colors, but it's kind of like a silvery mauve, silvery lilac kind of color there. So yeah, sometimes against the fence it's hard to really see the true color, but yeah. So I'm gonna be out of town for a few days, and so when I return, these should be all dry. I'm gonna bring them inside when it gets dark tonight, and they're gonna finish drying indoors in a shady spot, and we'll have a look at them again when they're all dry.
Yesterday